Alright guys, I know this isn't what I usually do, but I just saw Terminator and look, I have to say, I am a huge Terminator fan. I am. Big time. I mean, I grew up watching the first two movies so many times. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can recite those movies word for word, line for line. I really can. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not BSing, okay? Now, I went into this with hope. I tried to be maybe on the fence about it at best. I definitely didn't want to go in with a negative attitude. Stupid. Terminator Genisys, or Genisys. Well, I guess it does explain why it's spelled with a Y in the movie, sort of. It's a sequel and reboot, kind of, at the same time. It all starts out just like the original, which was actually really cool. It started really strong in the beginning. So you had the future war, which we all love to see. Finally, those guys got their purple lasers and all the sound effects were right, and it was really on point. Super cool action sequence in the beginning. They go back in time, and when they go to 1984, I mean, they did a shot-for-shot remake of the first movie. The garbage truck driver, he was right on point. Exactly same expression on his face. It did that really well. Terminator arrives. He actually has his same interaction with those punks at Griffith Observatory, which was great. Same thing with Kyle Reese. When he comes back, he lands in the alley. He has an interaction with the homeless guy. Then one of the cops that are chasing him, turns out he's a T-1000. Everything just goes to hell. It becomes a convoluted mess at that point. Completely convoluted. I mean, no spoilers, but I mean, this entire thing was so contrived. It wasn't natural at all. It just felt like they were like, we really have to make sure the story goes this certain way. I don't care how much sense it doesn't make. Just go there. Look, guys, it is both a sequel and a reboot. It's getting kind of the same treatment as Star Trek, which is just because they did it doesn't mean you can pull it off too. It really bothered me how the Terminators, and there are a lot of Terminators in this movie to be honest, they really did this Hollywood bullshit, okay? They even talk about this in the making of Terminator Judgment Day. If you're a Terminator and you get into a hand-to-hand combat scene, you're not going to be doing crazy helicopter kicks, you're not going to be doing karate chops, any of that bullshit, okay? You are a machine. You are going to do the most efficient movement possible to take your opponent out. And you're not going to injure him, you are going to terminate him. Terminator, right? It really bothered me seeing them do some Hollywood bullshit moves. It was so stupid. A lot of the people in this movie did a good job. Amelia Clark, she did a good job as Sarah Connor, but I will say this though. Linda Hamilton, yes, she was in her late 20s in 1984 when they made the first movie. Now, Clark is in her late 20s as well, but she doesn't look like it. She looked like a little kid in this movie. First of all, she's like 5'0". I think she's like 5'2", and she looks like she probably just maybe started college. I mean, she looks like barely drinking age. It wasn't because of her acting skills. Acting actually did really well, but God, to buy her as this strong woman was so hard because it felt very contrived. I just felt like she was miscast, not because of her talent, just Sarah Connor, Amelia Clark, just... Arnold did a great job. Okay, that's the last thing I would complain about in this. Arnold did really well. He actually acted like the Terminator. I mean, he was the Terminator. It felt like it was just putting on some old comfortable boots. That was great. He really did a good job. And Jason Clarke, I've never seen him in anything he does badly in, but man, Jai Courtney. Jai motherfucking Courtney. Look, Jai Courtney, sure he's a great guy. Totally. Fine. Whatever. This isn't a personal attack on him. I've never seen him in any role that I like. And it really just brings my piss to a boil that he gets to ride on the shoulders of these giants. I mean, he got to play John McClane's son in Die Hard. Now he gets to play Kyle Reese, and he gets to be alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's supposed to be playing Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese, in 1984, played by Michael Biehn, was a brilliant performance. He had this almost stoic, almost robotic personality where he's very detached from pain, yet he almost had this childlike vulnerability to him. Michael Biehn did that perfectly. Jai Courtney in this film does not act like Kyle Reese. Okay, he's supposed to be Kyle Reese in this. It's supposed to be kind of a retelling up till that point. He is supposed to be Kyle Reese. He does not act like Kyle Reese at all. He acts like some 20-something from a modern rom-com. He's being super emotional all the time. You know, if you remember correctly, Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn, very briefly smiled one time in the original movie. One time. That was it. He was very detached from his emotions, so it makes sense. He was almost Terminator-like in that sense. In this, he's cracking jokes. He's smiling all the time. He cracks a lot of modern-style Hollywood bullshit jokes. Super, super disappointing to see a character that I love so much, a character I grew up with, get completely slaughtered. It was just like Bruce Willis's portrayal of John McClane in the 5th movie, It's a Good Day to Die Hard. He wasn't acting like John McClane, okay? He was just being tired-ass Bruce Willis. And this, Jai Courtney is just being generic actor number 58, circa 2015. You're not supposed to be funny. And him and Sarah Connor, Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, had zero chemistry in this film. Zero. Their chemistry made the first movie. Most of their interactions talking with each other were just these really emotional, just overly done. It just felt like college-style drama or teenage drama. Oh, he's like a father to me. No, he's just a machine. God, I almost walked out at that point listening to their high school drama bullshit dialogue with each other. That's how it was written. It was so, so bad. Speaking of his sense of humor, there was way, way too many jokes in this film. Now, comic relief has its place in a film. It is comic relief. It is supposed to relieve you from intensity or drama every once in a while. When a movie gets too intense, gets too dark, you need to have that relief, that comic relief. In this film, they were cracking jokes every 5 fucking minutes, and it drove me insane. Every single chance they got, just so bad. Every single moment they had Kyle Reese, Sarah Connor, or the Terminator spewing out some kind of joke. Kyle Reese does not make jokes. That is his character. He was cracking just as many jokes as everybody else. It didn't seem like he grew up in this terrible, terrible future that was portrayed in the original films where, I mean, they were scavenging for rats to eat in the ruins and slave labor camps and stuff like that. He had a shitty upbringing and he grew up in a shitty world. But this Kyle Reese just seemed like a totally well-adjusted, like, hey, you know, that's crazy. Whoa, no, oh my God, I'm adjusting to all these situations really, really well. No big deal. Cracking jokes, yeah. Doesn't make any sense at all. Kyle Reese was not Kyle Reese. The interactions between the three characters, or specifically between Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese, were really, really bad, really, really vanilla. And there were a lot of times in this movie where I was thinking to myself, that was convenient. Oh, well, that's convenient. Oh, that was, yeah. How did you know that? Why was the original Terminator sent back to kill Sarah Connor's parents in the 1970s? Which is not a spoiler, we all know this. This has been given away. Why was it a T-1000 in 1984? How did that happen? T-1000 1984 just... What? When they had to fight the main antagonist, he needed some very specific weaponry to fight him. Again, no spoilers here. But when they're here in modern times, they just had these weapons at a police station, which was super, super convenient. Oh, well, this is how we kill him. Good thing that these new prototype weapons happen to be right here in the armory, and they happen to be applicable to this exact type of enemy. God, that worked out so well. Thank you. And speaking of the antagonist, now, for those of you who didn't see the trailer that everyone was saying, whoa, it's a big spoiler, good for you. I wish I were you. I did see it, and I thought to myself, well, let's wait and see the movie. Maybe it's not really that big of a spoiler. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not really a spoiler. Yeah, no, it was a big fucking spoiler. So, thanks a lot, Hollywood. Yeah, no, it was a spoiler, and they should not have put that in the trailer whatsoever. The guy who made the trailer, why would he cut that together and be just like, yeah, that looks good. Let's show that to millions of people. Yeah. Now, is the spoiler a good or a bad thing? It was fine. I mean, it was kind of dumb, but it was fine in context. But it should not have been in that trailer. Should not have been. I don't want to sound all negative. I will say a few things. Action sequences were great. Okay, that's a positive thing. The actress who played Sarah Connor did very well. Arnold did very, very well. He played the Terminator right to a T. J.K. Simmons' character I thought was really, really cool. Jai Courtney, whatever. It was a good sci-fi action film. It was a shitty Terminator film, but it was a good sci-fi action film. I would say it was probably better than T3, but I don't think it was as good as Terminator Salvation. T3, Salvation, and Genisys do not feel like Terminator movies. Those are three different action films with a sci-fi theme, but T1 and T2 are only ones that actually are Terminator films. They know what it took to be a Terminator film. These three films, the three sequels to the second movie, are not Terminator movies. They're just sci-fi action movies. So in that context, I would actually say this one was better than 3, not as good as Salvation. But really, I mean, we're comparing diarrhea to burnt crap. I mean, I would love to ask the bigwigs in Hollywood, why is it so hard to make a good Terminator film? Why? Why do you get guys like Mick G on board? I mean, aren't you just shooting yourself in the foot? Do you not want to make money? I don't understand why it is so hard. The groundwork has been laid. The franchise is out there. It is a good franchise. Why is it so hard? I don't understand. I'm torn about giving money to this movie. On the one hand, I want to give it money because I want more Terminator movies to be made, because that way there's a chance that they will make a good movie eventually. But I feel like me paying for this condones Hollywood to make more crap. So in the end, the movie was fine. But that's kind of the problem, and that's kind of the bigger epidemic that's going around in Hollywood. The movie is only fine, okay? A Terminator movie should not be fine. A Terminator movie should be amazing. It should be spectacular. It should be groundbreaking. It should be innovative. And you're seeing this all the time now in Hollywood when they make these reboots or remakes, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. We have Ghostbusters coming up. We have Romancing the Stone coming up. Red Dawn, Total Recall, RoboCop. A lot of these movies, they range either from, they're either bad to like good, fine, and that's a big problem. We're just settling, and then we're throwing money at it over and over and over, and then they just keep making and churning out more stuff that's stupid, stupid, stupid. I don't want fine, guys. I want a Terminator movie that is amazing. I want a Predator movie, I want an Alien movie, I want a RoboCop movie, I want a Die Hard movie. I want them all to be amazing. Why is it so hard? Why could we do it 30 years ago and we can't do it now? Why?